Hi, everybody, and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles, and on this episode, we're reviewing New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, episode 89. We're going to jump right into this. If you haven't watched my shows before, I grade everything on a 1 to 5 scale, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. First match of the evening, we get the Stray Dog Army, represented by Bateman and Barrett Brown, versus the Bullet Club team of Chris Bay and Hikuleo. I thought this was a really cool match. I really enjoyed the interaction between Bay and Hikuleo, kind of teasing the fact that Hikuleo may or may not be leaving the Bullet Club, especially since his brothers, the Gorillas of Destiny, Tongaloa and Tamatonga, had been kicked out of Bullet Club. I kind of find it interesting that he would still be part of the group. So I know they're going to play on this for a while. I do think eventually he is going to split off and join his brothers. But maybe they don't take that route. Maybe they decide to keep him with the group. It's hard to say what they're going to do now. It's very interesting what they are doing. I really enjoy the Stray Dog Army. I like Bateman. I think he's a great character. I wish that we could see more of him. Him in kind of the cult leader role is kind of a great role for him. I thought this was a decent match. The Bullet Club team of Bay and Hikuleo pick up the win. I'm giving this a 3. Solid match here. Good but not great. I enjoyed it. It served its purpose in my opinion. To me, the story of the match was the potential rift between Bay and Hikuleo. Now next up, we have Blake Christian versus Jonah, formerly Bronson Reed. I don't know where either of these guys were undervalued by WWE, because I think they're both really great wrestlers. Again, I think it's becoming a common thing on Strong. Usually they have 3 to 4 matches, and it feels like the match before the main event is what I would put personally if I was formatting the show as the main event. I feel like this match had more importance to it than the main event did, even though, and we'll get to that in a moment, the Strong Openweight Champion is in the main event. I feel like a one-on-one singles match with 2 solid competitors such as these is more important in the grand scheme of New Japan and New Japan Strong than a 6-man involving the champion. Just my personal opinion. I thought this was a great match. I like both of these guys. I like Blake Christian a lot. I love Jonah. Jonah, to me, is this generation's Bam Bam Bigelow. I think he's that good. I think he's that talented. He's just a great wrestler. Like I said, I don't understand why WWE, with both of these guys, did not see a way to make them both megastars. I thought this was a really solid match. Jonah picks up the win here. I'm giving this one a 4. This is by far my favorite match of the night. Not saying that the other 2 were bad, but this match is really, it was the one that got me. If I were to show one of these 3 matches to people and say, why do I like New Japan Strong? This is a perfect example of why. Now, our main event of the evening and the final of the 3 matches, we get a 6-man tag, like I mentioned just a minute ago. We have Fred Rosser, Alex Coughlin, and the DKC versus JR Kratos, Royce Isaacs, and Filthy Tom Lawler. I understand what they were doing here and why they put this as a main event. The story is Rosser and Lawler are feuding over the the Strong Openweight Championship here. So it makes sense to me why this is a main event. It's not what I personally would have put as a main event. But like I said, to me, I feel like it's more important to have a one-on-one match with 2, what I would consider strong contenders for that Strong Openweight Championship. I would think that, to me, would be more important than just having, basically, Tom Lawler is considered the champion of Strong because he is the Strong Openweight Champion. To me, it's more important to have basically two solid contenders is a bigger match than a six-man involving your champion. And I get it. Like I said, I understand why they did it and why they put this here. It's a different thing. It makes perfect sense. I just personally differ with this. Fred Rosser, if you haven't been paying attention, he's just one of the best wrestlers out there right now, and it's awesome to see how far he's come and how great he has become. Alex Coughlin's one of the real up and coming stars coming out of the LA dojo, which seems to be producing nothing but great talent right now. What Shibata's doing out there with these guys is really making them into stars. I think he's just an amazing, like I've said it before with guys like Ren Narita, other guys that have been out there, and my brain is going silly right now. But there have been a bunch of guys that have went out to Strong, Carl Fredericks being one of them, and it seems like they're producing nothing but great talent out of the New Japan, the LA dojo. So Alex Coughlin is just another one of those guys. J.R. Kratos, like I said, he's a big, intimidating guy. I really think he'd be best to have a mouthpiece at this point. I don't know that he's as intimidating or as polished as he should be, but I think he would work best. Like I've said it before, I think him and the Sinister Minister, a.k.a. James Mitchell, Father James Mitchell, would be a great mouthpiece for him. And I don't know if it's something that they've ever thought of, or I might be the only person that thinks of it. But he kind of fits in that, like when James Mitchell was the manager of Abyss. He kind of fits in that mold for me. Another big monster that could be controlled by this somewhat, I guess you would say, a demonic influence or a satanic influence, however you would promote that. I thought this was a solid match. Again, it's not my favorite match of the night. It was solid, though. Team Filthy picks up the win. Kratos, Isaacs, and Lawler. I'm giving this match a solid 3. I thought it was good. Not the best match of the evening. Like I said, the second match to me is my favorite match of the evening. With all that being said, I thought the show was solid all the way through. Again, proving once again why New Japan Strong is my favorite weekly wrestling show, and I thoroughly enjoy this. And if you're not watching New Japan Strong, well, there's two reasons. Either if you don't have New Japan World, it's kind of worth it just for Strong. And that's not including all the great stuff you're getting out of New Japan itself as well. And with the price tag, 999 yen, which usually ends up being, because there's a conversion rate in America or wherever you may be, usually ends up being right around that $9, $10 range. To me, it's well worth it. I love this show. Like I said, if this was all they showed there, I would pay the $10 a month just for this because the show is that good. But again, it makes it worth it when you get stuff like Wrestling Dantaku, which was a fantastic show just about a week and a half ago. And we're getting the Best of the Super Juniors coming up here, which is going to be fantastic. It always is. I know I'm sounding like a pitchman for New Japan World right now. To me, it's worth the value, is what I'm going to say with that. Overall, I'm going to give this whole show a 3. I thought it was good. Thought it was solid. Not the best episode of Strong, but not a bad episode either. I still would put this right up there with any other television wrestling show for the week. I think it holds up with all of them. Like I've said before, I love the fact that it's under an hour. Usually you get 3 to 4 good to great matches. You get to see some of the up-and-coming talent. They like to use guys like, say, a Barrett Brown, who's been an independent star for a long time. They like to use guys like Fred Rosser, has built up a name and kind of is on like I don't want to say like a rehab, but a reclamation, showing he's better than we thought he was. Guys like the DKC, up and coming talents again. Guys like Tom Lawler, who haven't had really that platform yet on the main stage as some of these other guys have. I really enjoy New Japan Strong Weekly, and I think if you're not watching it, you probably should be. And even if you don't get New Japan World, I hate to say this, but you could probably find illegal streams of this every week if you really wanted to. With all that being said, please hit that like button, share, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and leave me a comment down here. And if you watched all the way to the end, like we always do, I like to gauge who's watching all my shows all the way through. Since this is episode 89, 89 reminds me of a couple things. The main thing is the first, not the first, but the first Michael Keaton Batman movie. So if you watched all the way to the end, put Batman in the comments for me. With all that being said, my name is George Coles, and this has been my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, episode 89.